My son Levi is at an age where he's really just beginning to develop a vocabulary. He's also at the age where he's really starting to notice the world around him. He's an incredibly observant kid. He sees things that I may have passed by 1,000 times but never really recognized. What's more, many things he's really just seeing or recognizing for the first time in his life, and he's trying to figure out how to understand and how to name what he's seeing. As a result, there are a surprisingly high number of times where I hear a little voice say, "What's that, Daddy? What's that?" And I'm left looking all around trying to figure out what he's seeing that I've completely missed. It's also fun to watch him look at things. Sometimes he will just stop in his tracks and bend down and simply watch the ants run in and out of their anthill. Other times he will examine a leaf with great intensity, making sure to see every ridge and bump on it. At times, I get the sense that in some way he sees the world more fully than I do. He seems to notice more things and to take them in more deeply than I am able to on a regular basis. One of the things that I often struggle with is that my attention can sometimes become very focused on one or two things in my life. Sometimes because of stress or worry or conflict or a host of other reasons. It's easy for all of my energy and focus to come around one single point. And as that happens to me, it's almost like my field of awareness or vision gets blacked out, and I can't even see anything except this one point in my life. It's an effect that causes two things. First, whatever I'm focusing on starts to feel much larger than it really is, and it seems all-consuming. Second, anything else good or joyful or life-giving seems to disappear from my awareness. The way that Levi sees the world is completely different. Levi sees everything, and notices everything, good and bad. The way Levi sees the world is also much closer to how I think God sees the world. Matthew 6:25-30 says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And can any of you by worrying add a single hour to your span of life? And why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith?" Our field of vision may be small and focused on one or two issues. But God sees the entirety of the world as it is, even including the bugs and the birds and the bindweed. It's not that God doesn't care about our challenges and our struggles, but rather it's that God can put them into proper perspective compared to the grand scheme of life and all of creation. There's an old song called "Count Your Blessings." The first verse in the chorus says, "When upon life's billows you are tempest-tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord hath done. Count your blessings, name them one by one, count your blessings, see what God hath done." There's a certain truth to this song. When we find ourselves with that tunnel vision, focusing on one or two issues, what is needed most is to find a way to expand our vision again. An easy way to expand that vision is to actually make a list of good things in our lives. This doesn't mean that we ignore the problems of our life or pretend like they're unimportant, but it does help us to regain some perspective and helps us to see those difficulties in the proper way, rather than letting them be all-consuming. Jesus once said that in order to enter the kingdom of heaven, that we have to become like little children. Maybe one of the things that he meant is that we need to really open our vision and see the world as it actually is, blessings and difficulties included.